The old crisis has not yet ended, and a new crisis has suddenly emerged. Why did Hamas launch an attack on Israel? How do China and the United States react differently to this? The Russia-Ukraine conflict is pushing the world to the brink of a third world war, and unexpectedly, the long-standing adversaries Palestine and Israel are once again in conflict. Recently, Hamas launched its largest-scale attack on Israel in years. In addition to sending armed militants into Israeli towns, they also fired thousands of rockets from the Gaza Strip into Israel. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu immediately declared the deployment of all military forces to destroy Hamas and launched multiple airstrikes on the Gaza Strip. Currently, there have been nearly 4,000 casualties on both sides of the Israel-Palestine conflict, with over 500 fatalities. It's evident that this is not a minor skirmish, but rather a new war. There are two noteworthy aspects regarding Hamas's recent attack. First, Hamas executed its attack with remarkable secrecy. It's worth noting that both Israel and the United States have long considered Hamas a terrorist organization. Yet, this organization, which they may have underestimated, managed to launch a deadly attack right under the noses of Israeli and American intelligence agencies. Second, in addition to firing rockets, Hamas simultaneously infiltrated Israeli-controlled areas, carried out military operations, and detained a significant number of Israeli prisoners, including high-ranking military officers. It's evident that Hamas meticulously planned this operation, which suggests that this new conflict between Israel and Palestine will not come to a swift conclusion. Despite the knowledge that renewed conflict would be detrimental for both sides in the Israel-Palestine conflict, why did Hamas initiate an attack on Israel? Firstly, Hamas stated that Israel desecrated the Al-Aqsa Mosque and killed Palestinian civilians. In their declaration, Hamas made it clear that the era of no accountability for the enemy has ended. Additionally, there is a precedent set by China in mediating between Saudi Arabia and Iran, and the United States has recently made significant efforts to promote reconciliation between Saudi Arabia and Israel. The trend of a broader Middle East reconciliation is emerging. However, from the Palestinian perspective, if Israel and other Middle Eastern countries reconcile, it could leave Palestine in a more vulnerable and dependent position in the future regarding the Israel-Palestine issue. These factors contribute to the complex dynamics and motivations behind Hamas's actions, despite the potential consequences of renewed hostilities. Hamas's recent attack holds the crucial objective of maintaining leverage in the Israel-Palestine issue before any official reconciliation between Saudi Arabia and Israel takes place. As for the new Israel-Palestine conflict, the United States has unequivocally sided with Israel. The U.S. Secretary of Defense has even ordered the Ford Carrier Strike Group on October 8th to sail to the eastern Mediterranean to be ready to assist Israel. This implies that the United States is not only intervening in the Russia-Ukraine conflict, but also in the Israel-Palestine conflict, which could potentially lead to ongoing and escalating conflicts in the Middle East. Meanwhile, the Chinese Ministry of Foreign Affairs has issued a strong warning regarding the current tension between Israel and Palestine. They emphasize that the international community should enhance a sense of urgency, increase investment in the Palestinian issue, and push for both sides to resume talks promptly, seeking a path to lasting peace. China commits to continue working alongside the international community to achieve this goal. Although the pandemic has receded, the specter of war is wandering far and wide. Whether it's the Russia-Ukraine conflict or the new Israel-Palestine conflict, while these may seem distant from us, in today's volatile international landscape, a moment's inattention could turn the distant gunfire into something closer to home. To maintain stability amid this turmoil and safeguard the peace at our doorstep, it's essential not only to proactively engage in diplomacy, but also to be thoroughly prepared militarily. History has repeatedly taught us that without adequate preparedness for war, the possibility of conflict knocking on our door becomes very real. Robust preparations for war are crucial, particularly in times like these. As for the re-escalation of the Israel-Palestine conflict, how do you see it? Feel free to share your thoughts.